day two. I want to believe you are enjoying your virtual learning. Now, welcome to Music Plus Week 3, where we'll be looking at music notes and values. Now, before we get started on the topic itself, I'd like us to enjoy the musical video on the next slide. And I want you guys to look closely at the performances and sing along with the song that's being performed. And at the end of the day, I'll come back so that we can continue to our topics for today.
Hi everybody, I'm Ethan and I love to play the piano. I play it first thing in the morning. I play it at lunch. And I play it at night. I love playing the piano because I love music. Do you like music? Good, because now I'm going to introduce you to my musical friends from Melody Street. He plays so great, it'll make you grin. He's my best friend, Val Violin.
Hello, Ethan. Hello, kids. Can I play for you? I can? Great!
She's tall and shiny, gentle and cute. She's the greatest, Phoebe Flute.
Oh, I feel a song coming on. I can't stop it. Here it comes. Way to go, Phoebe.
Lift your hands in the air and pump it. That's how you welcome Timmy Trumpet.
Okay, I'm going to play really, really soft now. Really soft. Listen hard. Yeah.
She's a shining star ever since she was born. Let's give a warm welcome to Heidi Horn.
Yes, it's me. Feast your eyes, everyone. Now, feast your ears.
And finally, he's fast as a panther, strong as a bear. Give it up for Sammy Snare.
Yeah! Boom, boom, boom. Sound Snare is in the room.
Today we'll sing songs,
Play games and enjoy some great music. We'll meet people who play instruments and even learn how to build an instrument all by ourselves.
are you with us?
Good!
Then let's get happy.
If you're happy and you know it, pluck your strings. If you're happy and you know it, pluck your strings. If you're happy and you know it,
And you really want to show it.
if you're happy and you know it, pluck your strings. If you're happy and you know it, toot your flutes.
everybody to enjoy the video. Very good. I know you will all enjoy that, because you can see different instruments being performed there. The song talks about if you are happy and you know it, you should be able to express it. You should be able to, exercise it, and it should be able to give you more energy, onto the daily activity. Okay, that's all about the video. Let's go to the next slide so that we can get started on the topics for today. Now we are looking at objectives for today's class. Now, number one is to identify notes and their values. I mean the simple musical notes that we're using and their equivalent values. We want to identify the symbols of the music notes. Now we'll be looking at one of the major notes today and the symbol. And at the end of the day, we should be able to tell us, what it actually stands for. Now, to go alongside with it, we'll be looking at the keywords notes, values, semibreve, meaning. Those are the keywords we'll be looking out for, in our today's class. Now, at the end of the day, the outcome I'll be looking for from you guys is number one, ability to say simple music notes, ability to identify music notes value. That is, how much duration a particular music note, has. Okay, now to connect everything together now, number one, let's look at note value. Now, when we say note value, what does that mean? It simply means music notation or musical notation in any system used to represent music played with instruments or sung by the human voice through the use of written or printed symbols. Now, that might probably not sound very clear to you. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. Now, there are some symbols we use in music into, expressing the sound that a lot of people actually hear and they enjoy. Now, your music can either be written down or printed out for you, to you in order for you to read out from why people actually performing it. Over time, you'll be able to understand what we mean by notes. Now, notes are the sounds that we make in music. And when we're talking about the notes, the length, the length of time that a particular note sounds is the duration. Or we can as well refer to it as the value, which is the count of the note. Now, let's say it says the length of time that a note is played is called its note duration, like I rightly said, which is determined by the type of note. It can otherwise be called the value. Now, the value is still the same as the duration. Now, that is the length of time a particular note lasts, when you are actually making, the sounds. That's what we're talking about there. Now, let's go to the next slide. All right. Let us now look at music notes and the values. We have different kinds of music notes and the value, but I think for today, in order for me not to bombard us for too much, in order for me not to put too much pressure on us, we'll actually be taking it one after another. So for today, we'll be looking at the semibreve, which is the very first note here. But before we go into that, let's look at the different kinds of notes that we've got in music. The very first one, like I said, is semibreve. Now we have two different names ascribed to each and every one of them, one for American, the other one for British. Now we have semibreve here, we have whole note. If you don't want to call it the semibreve, you can call it the whole note with the value of 4 beats. The second one we call it the minim, which is half note, 2 beats. The next one, the crochet or the quaver note, which is 1 beat. Now, if you look at, the progression this is making, you see that, it keeps going in half count of the previous one. While this is 4 beats, the next one goes to 2 beats, the next one goes to 1 beat, and it goes down and down like that. But for our level now, we will only be looking at the very first 3 musical notes, which is the semibreve, the minim, and the crochet. Of course, I know a number of us have actually gone ahead into learning the quaver note, which is the 8th note half beat. The semi-quaver, of course, I know a number of us have actually learned that. So semi-quaver, we have 2 quavers and we have 4 semi-quavers. After the semi-quaver, there's another note called demi-semi-quaver and demi-semi-quaver. But of course, we don't want to go too much into that for now. But for now, Like I said, we'll only be looking at the semibreve, the mini, and the crochet, which can otherwise as well to be called the semibreve, which is the whole note, the mini, the half note, the crochet, the quarter note. But for today, like I said, we'll be looking at just the semibreve, in order for us to have a very firm understanding of that before we go to the next note in our next class. Now, let's quickly look at the semibreve. Let us start with semibreve or whole notes today. Like I said, the first note we will look at today is called a semibreve. In the US, it's called a whole note. That simply means, we have a semibreve, which is popularly known, which is the very first note. Or in the US, you can as well call it a whole note. So those are just, the two different names given to the semibreve note. But now let's look at the way it looks like. So it's like a small oval shape, zero, or letter O, which is a good way to think of it when you first begin writing music. We are looking at developing our skills in writing music. If you want to write it, of course, you can just naturally visualize it as letter O to start with. So now we call this oval-shaped part of a note the note head. You will soon understand what I mean by that. They said a semibreve, remember a semibreve or a whole note has a value of 4 beats. If you don't want to call it 4 beats, you can call it 4 counts. It's still the same thing that we're talking about here. So it has 4 beats or 4 counts. Now let's go to the next slide. Okay, so it simply means that means when we play a semibreve, we count to 4 while holding the notes down. So this is how our semibreve note looks like. This is how it looks like. And so anytime you see it on your musical staff, you must always refer to it as the semibreve or whole note, but always remember that you must hold it down for 4 counts. Okay, example of semibreve in a staff is shown below. Now remember what we're talking about the staff as the lines and the spacing. So if you place your semibreve note on the spaces, this is how they will look like. This is how they will look like. And if you place them, and if you place different semibreve notes on your lines, you will have them like this. So now we're just looking, we are just making use of the treble clef as an example. So now on the spaces, remember that your treble clef spaces stand for F-A-C-E, and while on your lines they stand for E, G, B, D, F. Remember, what we used to call that. Now, we can use different words for this, like every good boy deserves football. Every good boy deserves Fanta. It depends on whatever thing you want to call it. And this one, you can easily remember this as your phase. Once you just say, okay, my spaces on the treble clef is my phase. Now, that's just to go back to what the staffs actually stand for. But now, for the semibreve, this is how we place them, both on the lines and on the spaces. Okay, before we get started on this, I want us to watch the video below to further understand the note semibreve. Now, be very fully attentive so that you can understand it properly. And at the end of the day, we'll go to the next agenda.
Music. Simi Costa here with you. Semibreve whole note, semibreve whole note, semibreve whole note. In music, we have a longer sound and we have a shorter sounds. For the longer, it's like love. For the shorter, like love. We have loads of symbols in music. However, for semibreve whole note, semibreve whole note, we're going to use that symbol. It's oval. Oh yes, oval symbol. Oh yes, that one. It's gonna be better for you, yeah. Actually, we have that symbol, that note. However, we have 2 different names. Do you know? semibreve whole note, semibreve whole note. We have two different names, but just for one note. It depends which country you are, it's gonna be called one name or another name. For best understanding, I'm going to use this traffic light as a fixed point, and we're going to use as well a train. Actually, I'm going to use the horn of the train, and I'm going to concentrate not on the train but on the wagons. Each wagon we have 4 windows, so it's gonna be like 4 counts, or we can call it as well 4 beats. Every time when the first window reaches the traffic light, the horn going to sound, boom, and it's gonna last for 4 windows, or for 4 beats, or for 4 counts. 4. Okay? So let's see how it's gonna work. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still using the same idea, now I'm going to clap. Each time when the note reads the traffic light, I'm going to clap, and it's gonna last for 4 beats. I'm clapping just once. However, each beat I'm going to do like that. Okay? So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you got it. Just revising. Semibreve whole note, semibreve whole note. It's the note that we have 4 beats, or we can say 4 counts. Thank you for watching.
All right, thank you for watching, like you rightly said. And I want to believe you guys actually understand everything that he spoke about in the video. Is still reinforced on the fact that semibreve or whole note has 4 counts or 4 beats. I want to believe you all enjoy it very well. Now to the next slide. Now let us try and trace the note below to make it semibreve or whole note. Now of course we have the 3 notes we are looking at here, but the very first one is what we're deliberating on today, which is the semibreve. We have the minims, we have the crotchets, but for today it's just the semibreve. Remember, it is also called the whole note. Like I said, it looks a bit like a circle. Yes, very very close to a circle. Says it doesn't have a stem, is hollow in the middle, and trace the semibreves, at this end there. It says trace each semibreve a different color. Wow. Okay, see the way it's going to look like. So if you trace it, you just trace it sort like that. Now this is a middle C note written in semibreve. Look at the way it is. Look at the way it is. Now this is middle C in your right hand. Remember that your treble clef stands for your right hand, and your the bass clef stands for the left hand. That's what is pointing you to here. That's what is pointing you to here. In order for you guys to see properly. That's what it's pointing you to. But at the same time, the major goal of this slide is to show us how a semibreve can be placed on the middle C. This is the middle C that divides the piano into 2 equal parts, where the right hand starts and where the left hand actually ends. Now let's go. Okay, this is how Semibreve Note is played on the piano music. You count 4 beats to each note as shown below. As you can see, remember this is your what? This is your middle C. In the previous slide, I showed us this is your middle C, but now they now place it on the right hand, which is the treble clef. So let's see how it's being played. As you can see, this is your right hand with the thumb on the letter C. Letter C is your white key before the 2 black keys, white key before the 2 black keys, white key before the 2 black keys. It goes on and on like that. So if you want to play it now, you press it down and then you count 4 beats to each note, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play it again. 2, 3, 4. On this 2, 3, 4. The last time 2, like that. It goes for 4 counts. So let's see the way it's being played there, because we can see further lesson on how to play Semibreve Note in the start.
Before you begin developing this skill, make sure that you're aware of your posture. You've got a straight neck, shoulders relaxed, sitting on the front part of the stool, feet flat on the floor, elbow level with the keyboard or slightly above the keyboard, and when you place your hand on the keyboard, you've got a nice dome-shaped hand, curved fingers, and a nice relaxed wrist. Make sure you're feeling positive and relaxed and ready to focus on this next step towards being able to play our favourite songs and music. In music, you need to have 2 things, a note to play and a time to play it. Let's relocate our notes. And now let's work out when to play them. You might have noticed when you've looked at music, lines that go across the stave, these are called bar lines, and they divide the music into equal parts. This also helps us with rhythm and counting, because each of those bars has a number of beats in them. You might have heard band members or seen on TV or in the movies band members counting a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. That means they're counting 4 beats in each of those bars. We're going to spend quite some time counting 4 beats in a bar, or in some parts of the world this is also called a measure. In written music, it's the time signature at the front of the music that tells us how many beats to count in each bar. The time signature is the 2 numbers at the start of a piece of music that sit on top of each other, a bit like a fraction. It's the top number that tells us how many beats to count in every bar, and it might be a 2, a 3, a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. We have to count 1, 2, 3, 4 in each bar or measure that we come to. Alright, so let's put those 2 things together. We know where our middle C is located, and we know how many beats to count, but how long do we hold our middle C down for? And that depends on what the note looks like. In our first example, we have a round note that's not coloured in. This is called a semibreve, or in some parts of the world it's known as a whole note. And a whole note that looks like that is held for 4 beats. In our music, if I was going to play what was written there, I would place my hand on the keyboard. I'm going to use my thumb or finger 1 to play that middle C. It's in 4/4 time, so each bar is going to have 4 beats in it. And because it's a semibreve note or a whole note, I'm going to hold my key down for the entire bar for all those 4 beats. The first bar would look like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. If I was going to play the whole example, it would look something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I was feeling a bit more peppy and I wanted my music to have a little bit more life, I could count those 4 beats a little bit more quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm still holding my semibreve down for 4 counts. I've just made the counts a little bit faster. Practice that for as long as you need to in order to get very familiar with looking at that middle C note, learning that the semibreve is held for 4 counts. Our goal is to be able to automatically recognise that note in that position as the middle C note, and to automatically know that we have to hold it down for a count of 4. When that feels comfortable and you're relaxed with that, let's go on to D. So D is the next key on the keyboard, and in written music it is the note that just sits tucked under that first line on the treble. If I was going to play the example that we've got now, it would look something like this, using my second finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I was feeling a bit more lethargic and wanted something a bit more mellow, of course I could count more slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's have a look at E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Using our third finger, E is the note that sits on the first line. It's a semibreve, so again we're holding it down for a count of 4. Maybe we'll do it with a bit more pep this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the next one, F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make it a bit more peppy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're up to our last one, which is G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're using finger 5 to press our G note down to get a smooth and even sound. Let's have a go at playing through the whole sequence using some of our different effects. We can start off using legato, which is a bit tricky when you're playing the same note repeatedly, but when we move from one note to another we can certainly join those sounds. Let's play through the whole sequence with the legato type feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try now playing the whole sequence staccato. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, if you've got a touch-sensitive keyboard, add in the different dynamic effects. Play the notes softly, play them loudly, play them getting gradually louder and gradually softer. Also, you can vary your tempo. Maybe if you're feeling a bit peppy, increase the rate at which you're counting your 4 beats. If you're feeling like you want to play a bit more mellow, decrease the rate at which you're counting your 4 beats. Of course, the other option that we've got is to select different instruments on our keyboard. So let's try playing the whole sequence through with some different instruments. So I press tone and I'll just pick something. Looks like I've picked an organ. We'll go, I might play them as joined up as I can when I'm changing from one note to the other, starting with middle C. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's change around a little bit, pick something else. Looks like I've got a guitar this time. Might do this one staccato just for something a bit different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, Again, take as many practice sessions that you need to be able to keep a nice steady rhythm and play the notes seamlessly and effortlessly. It'll be time to move on when you've given yourself enough time to learn the information associated with this skill and you're feeling really relaxed playing semi-breve notes from C to G using a range of different instruments and effects. Coming up next, we look at another musical note, the minim.
Wow, excellent performance there. I want to believe everybody understood this properly. It was very, very comprehensive. You should be able to understand what it means to play in semi-breve notes by now. Just holding down for 4 counts, of course, you can see, when the teacher was actually talking about you pressing it down for 4 counts, on each particular note you're playing, and ascending it. You are going up from your C to your D to your E to your F and to your G. So I want to believe you all understood that properly when we were looking at it. Now, without wasting much time today, let's just go to our assessment. Let's go to assessment because we don't have much as such in it. Assessment and evaluation. Now, the very first question is, the length of time a note is played is called what? Remember when we first started, we talked about the length of time a note is played. What is it called? And the second question that says, how many beats does a semibreve note have? Now, think about it for 2 seconds and we'll come back. All right. So how many of us have been able to remember that the length of time a note is played is called what? How many beats does the semibreve note have? Remember that we focus more on semibreve notes today. So by next class, of course, we will look at other notes like your meaning and the crochet. But for today, let's just answer the question on the semibreve, which is what we've learned so far. So on the next slide, let's see the answer for this. Now, the length of the time a note is played is called, let's see on the next slide now. Okay, the length of time that a note is played is called its note duration, which is determined by the type of note. It can otherwise be called value. Remember that the topic says music, notes, and value. So you can call it duration, that is the length of time, or you can call it value. So that's the answer for that. And the next question says, a semibreve has how many beats? So a semibreve note has 4 beats or 4 counts. As you can see, remember that it's over in shape. Once you can remember that, you should be able to remember that it has a 4 beat or 4 counts, which is the value that it has. I want to believe that a number of you guys enjoyed the music for today, and if you do, I would like you guys to really enjoy yourself. Try as much as possible, go over the video again and watch it one more time and fully understand it so that you can be more and more confident anytime you have the note, you see the note in the music staff, or probably you want to perform with it, because over time all of these things that we're learning together, we're going to put it together and we'll perform a piece of music together in order for you to be able to recognize that, okay, this is what this stands for and this is the value that goes for this one. I want to appreciate you guys for actually staying behind up to now. Now, this is what I'm going to do. After watching this video, you can still go back to your classroom. When you get there, you will see the PowerPoint for this particular slide, for this particular video. You can download it as well too, and you read that again and again as well. In your free time, just start from the beginning, and you look at it, you read it over and over again and again. And if probably you want to attempt tracing your notes, your semibreve, your minim, and your crochet, which are your whole notes, your half notes, and your quarter notes. Go to that particular slide, and you will see where you can easily trace it. You can try it by yourself in order for you to understand better. So having said that, that will be it for today. And I want to appreciate you guys for taking out your time, watching the video. Like I said, get the PowerPoint and read it over again and again. But another thing I can actually help you guys do is I will leave 1 or 2 question worksheets there. that you guys you can work with. So I'll just attach a particular worksheet that you guys you can download as well, and you can just have a nice time together with it over time. Till next time that we meet together, I want you guys to try as much as possible, stay safe at home, don't trouble mommy or daddy, always be a good child, and then have fun at all.